Hello and welcome to the Homeless Consultant channel. This is Paul B. I am the Homeless Consultant, and today this is how in the world is Best Buy still in business, part 2. I've told you many times that everything in this car gets destroyed. The wires, the cables. In the winter, the wires freeze up so that they're in a straight line. They're like a wire coat hanger because they're frozen solid and they short out. I have to replace them all the time. Everything I have in this car gets destroyed. I had a $100 tripod. Okay? That's something I've managed to keep since the beginning of all this. But it's in the back of the car. It's in the back crevice of the seat. Well, eventually it had had enough of me having to dig around back there all the time, every week, packing, unpacking at the hotel, and just living in the car. The little clasps at the bottom broke off, the legs fell off, it was just completely broken. You couldn't fix it. So I had to replace the tripod. I need it. I need it for this, I need it for a whole bunch of other projects that I do photography or videography for. So I did several days research on the best tripod that I would have access to without ordering online. I don't have an address, I can't order online, can I? So, the one I came up with, unfortunately, was only available at Best Buy. So first I go to one Best Buy. I go there after work, so I get there, I don't know, 15 minutes before they close. I know they're closing soon. I'm trying to hurry up. I'm not there to keep them late. But nothing makes any sense. These tripods are just stacked on top of each other. They're not in any order. You've got the price tags with all the tiny itty-bitty writing, and they're down at the floor level. I mean, for me to read it, I would literally need to lay it flat on the floor and get a magnifying glass out, maybe even a light. That's what I would need. I don't know what the point of those things are. They've got two tripods that are open and just laying there. They've got stickers on them, but no prices. I can't find the little ball joint thing that you screw into a camera. You've got to have that. That's how you attach it to the tripod. So I've got questions out the wazoo on this thing, even though I thought I knew what I wanted. With about 5 minutes left, or 4 minutes left, 3 minutes left, shortly before close, this spaced out kid in a blue shirt comes waddling over, just says, "Can I help you, sir?" And he's just staring at me with this glare in his eyes. And so I start trying to explain it, and I take this one that had the open box and I pull it out and I say, "See, this is missing," and I go into this and I say, "Well, here's what I need, da 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 da." And the kid's just like, "I don't know anything about cameras." And he just keeps staring at me. That's all he said. "I don't know anything about cameras." He didn't say, while all these kids are sitting here in Best Buy always staring at their phones, punching around, he didn't say, "Well, sir, let me take a look on the internet and see if I can get you an answer to this question." He didn't do that. He just, "I don't know anything about cameras." And he just stares at me. So I'm doing all the work and this kid's just standing there staring. It was literally straight out of Idiocracy, like every employee in the movie Idiocracy. He was zero help. He was just trying to intimidate me to get me to leave so they can leave on time, apparently. So I did. I just left. The next day, before work, I come out to a different Best Buy. 20 miles away. Different Best Buy. I go over there and they have the spot for where the camera should be. That one was a little better organized, but still not very good. They had the tag for it, but it was a different brand and a different tripod that was sitting above the tag. So I go out and I look, and there's just blue shirts all over the place, just staring at their phones, on Twitter, whatever it is they're doing all day, just duh, duh, duh. So I have to go interrupt their lifestyle there, ask him to do his job. And he was a nice enough guy. He wasn't a space cadet like the other one. He comes over, and I said, "Your website says there's 4 of these in stock. I'd like to get one of these, please." And I point to the barcode on that tag. And he says, "Well, they're right there." And he points to the tripod above it. Gee, how did I miss that? I'm sorry. So I tell the kid, "That's the wrong tripod. That's a different brand." He's like, "Huh?" And he looks back and forth and, oh, yeah, you're right. I was like, yeah, you know what, I am right. I'm not always right, but in this case I was correct, yes, because I'm the one who's been here doing the research while you're out watching your phone all day. And I said, well, the website says you have them in stock. Do you have them in back? And he looks it up. He had to scan it a couple of times. And he says, yeah, we got 4 of them. I was like, cool. He walks away. Doesn't take terribly long. Comes back out with it, and he says something like, you know, here you go, dog, or something like, here you go, dude, or something like that. And I'm like, thank you. I walk over to the line. There's 2 people in front of me in line. There's 1 person at the counter. This is for the whole store. And their setup makes absolutely no sense. It's in the center of the store instead of by the door, the checkout. And instead of a regular checkout, it's like, I guess, checkout in the center, Geek Squad over there at the double doors, and then customer service. So I'm behind 2. They take forever to deal with whoever's over here. The longest time, like 7 minutes. Then the next one goes up there, and then that one starts taking about 7 minutes. And it's like, I gotta get to work. I gotta drive 20 miles and go to work. I can't just stand here all day. So I walk underneath their little divider thing, their little rope, and I go place the thing back in the correct spot behind the wrong ones with the wrong tripod. And I go to work, and I still don't have my tripod. So here it is the next day. This is my day off. I go down there to the same store. That one that I put back there is still there behind the correct ones. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm not here to be unfair. They did fix it so that, I'm sorry, it was just the correct one above the sign. So the incorrect ones were moved to a different place. So somebody did something. And if I had 2 hands here, I would applaud them for that. Although I shouldn't have to, because that's their job. And yet, I'm actually amazed that they did it. And it shouldn't be that way for a competent store. So I take the tripod. I go over to the checkout, if you can call it a checkout, whatever that is, that wall with the window in it. And there's nobody in line. So I walk up there. There's 1 person over at the customer service. They're being assisted by the person there. There's another guy standing next to him, and a customer on the floor looking at a box, like a computer or something. They're doing something. And I stand there at the front of this line. The store is essentially empty. I don't even know if I saw it. I probably saw some other customer in there somewhere, but other than those 2 at the checkout, I don't know if I saw any other customers in there. And I stand at that line, and I wait, and I wait, and I wait, and I wait. And nobody comes up right in front of me to the checkout to check me out. Finally, that guy over there who's helping the guy who's on the ground, the guy on the ground leaves. And again, this is probably another, 4 or 5 minutes, which is too much. It's too much. I'm at the front of the line in an empty store, folks. There's nothing going on there. If I took this camera in there, you would see air and people with blue shirts sitting and standing staring at phones. That's what you would see in there. So the guy who was helping there, he had a white shirt. He comes walking to the center. He says something like, "How you doing today?" And I'm just like, should I tell him the truth or not? Because I just paid $160 for a hotel for a day and a half, and I'm spending 10 minutes of my life waiting for you guys to check me out, while my money's invested in this hotel, which is the only time I'm in a place all week long. And now I got to sit out here and waste more time making this video because of them. And I said to the guy, "Look, if you don't mind, I'd like to open this up before I purchase it. I want to make sure all the parts are in there." And he said, "All the parts are in there. You can't open it until you buy it." And I'm thinking like, okay, so if I buy it right now, then you've got all my money tied up. And then I open the box and I find out that what is said on your website, your reviews, so often is true that quite often they leave out the little piece that you attach to your camera, which makes the tripod useless without it. And it costs $20 to buy a new one. And I would like to open it in front of you so that you know it wasn't in there. And I'll ask you to go get another one. And the kid just says, you can't open it until you buy it. And he said, everything's in there. And I'm thinking, how do you know this? Were you at the factory? Did you package it? Does it have your signature? And are you that competent that I can even trust you if you did sign off on it? This kid looked like a space cadet too. Another one out of Idiocracy. And he argued with me on it like twice. And I'm thinking, like, there's one little piece of tape lock in this thing. Every Best Buy I've been to has had boxes that are just sitting there open, ripped open, whatever, just looks like a junkyard. And you're telling me that at the moment I'm ready to buy the thing, a $75 tripod that probably cost about $3.99 to build over in China, and I'm willing to pay $75 for that thing, and you won't let me just open it and make sure that I'm actually buying what it is I want to buy, because the reviews on your website keep saying, check this thing before you buy it because it may be missing that part. And this kid just argues with me. So I just shoved it over to him very slowly, and I tapped it, and I said, I'm going to leave this for you to enjoy. Thank you. And I turned around and I walked out without a tripod. Which is why this camera's shaking all over, isn't it? Because my hand really hurts from holding this camera. As I leave, the blue shirt who's sitting down there at this table mumbles with the mask on, mumbles something like, have a good day. It's like, have a good day. You just ruined my freaking day. You know, I needed that tripod for what I was going to do in that hotel that I paid $160 for and was about to pay $75 for a tripod. I need that for everything I do with my cameras. I don't have one because it broke in the car that I live in. Everything gets broken in here. Look at how much time I wasted on this stupid, unbelievably incompetent Minnesota company. So here I am. How much time did I waste? I don't even know where my phone / watch is. I can say right now, it is 2.5 hours after the time I'm normally already inside the hotel working. And I still have to go get my stuff and take it to the hotel. So by the time I get in there, I'm going to lose maybe 3.5 hours. And then I have to set it all up. That takes another, half hour, 45 minutes. Then I finally get to begin my time in here. And then a little over 24 hours later, I get to leave and go back to living in this thing. And in the time I'm there, I can't even do what I have to do because these guys keep jacking everything up. I mean, folks, I don't even know how to explain it. Go do it yourself. Go to a Best Buy and see for yourself. It was like a scene out of Idiocracy. 2 out of those 3 people were just completely spaced out, had no life in them. They weren't animated. These people weren't even alive. They were like little robot things that hadn't been programmed with a personality. Best Buy, a Minnesota company.
Hi, I was in an army experiment and I'm not feeling so well. I think it might have been the drugs they had me on. I've been hallucinating. My head is just killing me. My joints are all achy and Is this a hospital or... I don't even know where I am.
Please proceed to the diagnostic area on the right and have a healthy day.
Oh. Thanks.